Okay, so there's a lot of preconceived notions about women who do OnlyFans, and you know, a lot of it's coming from like sort of the red pill community or like the whatever podcast, those type of shows, and it seems very kind of trendy right now.
They invited me to be on that podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
They
invite both of you.
They invited you too.
They recently reached out to me about coming back on, but I just don't know if I want to. I don't know if it's like, so they reached out to you?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, you're in California. Like, let me.
Not only is it California, but it's Santa Barbara. It's like 2 hours from an airport. So and these shows, it's between like 7 and 9 hours.
Yeah.
It's like torture like conditions. I think they do like torture type tactics to get viral moments out of people.
Well, I feel like, you know, they're egging you on and you're hot and sweaty and
they're waiting for you to just snap. Like, give me some water, please.
Right.
Who knows? I might do it. But I don't know. It just seems like their whole model is have 10 girls on and 1 or 2 guys like berating them, calling them whores until like they cry or, you know, shout something out and have a viral moment. I don't see the sense in shaming women who do OnlyFans or do porn without kind of like equal onus on like the men who consume this material.
You know, I think to each their own. I feel like you're going to have extremists on both sides. You know, I think there's a lot of extremeness going on, like the Lily Phillips and the Bonnie Blues and the Kazumis. They're, you know, really taking it to another level where most people are not nearly doing that. You know, they're doing it because they feel empowered. They're doing it for extra money, or they're doing it because they just really like it. But it's certainly not to the extreme, and they're treating it like a business, or they're just having fun. And then what's getting out there are these outlandish, you know, videos or headlines, and it's really making an already difficult situation even more difficult, because now you have the extremists on the other side that are coming, and it's just, you know, I think it's just too much sometimes.
Yeah. And a lot of times I think a certain type of man, like if they're, you know, conservative or Christian conservative, they'll try to shame women out of it like that. I'm like, you can't shame a woman out of doing OnlyFans if she's doing it for strong financial reasons. Like, you're not like alleviating the reason with which she got into it in the first place.
And people that were like, I would never date someone like that. Well, they wouldn't date someone like you. It's just not a compatible match. You don't have the same belief system, and you don't have the same morals, or, you know, just different way you live your life, and that's fine. But I'm not going to shame you for the things that you believe. Like, just keep scrolling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard a lot of guys say, like, oh, like a woman who does OnlyFans, no guy is ever going to want you. No guy's ever going to date you. You'll never be able to marry anybody. What do you say to that? People who think
there's so many porn stars and creators that are happily in relationships, and some that are happily not in relationships. And, you know, I like I said, to each their own. And, you know, I've been very lucky. I really don't get too much hate about, that. Mostly it's about my tweets that they hate. So, but, you know, I do see other people really getting, you know, having a hard time, and, you know, just have to kind of disassociate yourself from the people that just don't believe in you or think differently, and that's fine.
What do you say to girls like they get into it and then maybe their family cuts them off, or they have strained, like I guess like familial relationships because of it? I mean, that's the thing. It's like they should know that going into it.
I follow a lot of different porn stars, and almost all of them are estranged from their families. You know, I think that's just not everybody. Just because you're raised a certain way doesn't mean you believe all the same things. So, you know, and I see all these porn stars, and all of them are estranged in some way. It's like one extreme together. They're estranged or their family is completely supportive. So
It's almost weirder when they are completely supportive.
yeah, I don't know. I think wasn't one of the rumors with like Bonnie Blue that like her dad was there, like helping, I don't know, or the registration or something. I don't know.
For the 1,000 men.
Yeah.
The Lily Phillips Bonnie Blue phenomena. So Lily Phillips came out first. She's the one that did 100 dudes in what, a day?
Yeah, I
or something
think
like
so.
that. And then Bonnie Blue had to one up her by doing supposedly 1,000 in 48 hours.
How are you selling that video? Like the bandwidth must be incredible. Like,
And Amy was saying something really interesting before we went live, and it's just making me think, like, what if it's all bullshit? Like, is anybody fact checking? Like, is anybody being like, yeah, let's tally the, like, where, you know, no one's taking attendance, like, of these 100 men or these 1,000 men. It could be like, you know, 40 dudes. It could be 12, and just they're shooting long lines of people. Like, they could, you know,
I don't know.
how do we ever know?
I haven't really looked too much into it. I would assume if it's all this huge hullabaloo headline that somebody would have asked a question and been like, or, you know, maybe there is video out there. Obviously, I haven't seen it. So, I don't know. It's a big risk to take if you have nothing to show for it either.
Yeah. Like, what is someone like, oh, we need to count up all the condoms. But like you said, I think one of them didn't require condoms for everybody.
That's the rumor. So is it all for headline or is it real? Like sometimes they create these striking headlines that'll grab your attention and now you get the ball rolling with your marketing.
I wonder if they have like a little like garbage bag with like a basketball hoop over it, and then, like when they're done with the condom they have to just shoot. Or maybe she has like alternating colors of condoms. I don't know how you keep track of them all.
But one of the rumors was that they only had like 30 seconds with her.
That's just barely enough to get it in.
In an interview, she said, I think it was 15 minutes per person.
15 minutes, that's really all you need,
Kinda like
just in general.
Well, she said it was 5 minutes. She would get them ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
So they should come ready. They should come to the camera. They should come camera ready. Makeup, full makeup. Do you know what I mean?
Glam.
Like, that's too much manual labor on her. She's got to be the fluffer and the defluffer.
Yeah, even porn stars have fluffers.
Right.
It takes a lot
I don't like
for
that.
to be ready to go. I mean, these aren't like 18-year-old dudes that like...
Then don't do it. If you're not ready to go, don't waste everyone's time.
I mean, for them, do you turn that down? I mean, they didn't sound
Yes, I would be like, look, if it takes you more than a minute, I'm not here to, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I'm not here to get tennis elbow before this whole thing.
All right, so I have an idea. Chrissy makes an Onlyfans. Chrissy insults 1,000 men.
No, what I would like to do is cause 1,000 men to lose their erections. Like, come camera ready, and I will talk down to you until you walk away limp.
What is this? Boxers? You're going to come in here in boxers? There's a hole in them. How do you come here and there's a hole in
You
the
got these ratty ass underwear. You got
best you
holes in
could
your
do.
socks. That sounds great, actually. That's probably a fetish. Men who like to be
There
talked
is
down
a
to.
yes, that is definitely a request.
Wow.
Or the small penis humiliation.
Right, small penis. That's so funny to me.
The SPH.
Let's pull up that article about how much money Lily Phillips makes. She opens up about how much she's earned from her OnlyFans career, but she doesn't want young girls to follow in her footsteps. Do you feel like women like Lily Phillips and Bonnie Blue, almost like they set an unrealistic standard for girls that are just starting out in OnlyFans? They go, oh wow, if I can make this much money.
Well, here she's saying she's 15 to 20,000 a month, and there's creators out there saying they're making 150,000 a month.
Wow.
So, and it's all, you don't know what's real. You could be saying that to make somebody curious, to be like, wow, what's so great that, I think it's
what is that, 15 euro to 20,000 euro?
I don't know the exchange rate.
So, quick, somebody do a Google Translate on the money. I don't know.
A bit less than ours, I believe.
I just think to make that much, it's got to be such a full-time job. Like, you probably can't repeat outfits.
Well, these big time creators have a crew that helps them.
They should have fluffers then.
They might.
It's just not worth getting carpal tunnel over.
They have, it's not the content creation that's the time consuming, it's the DMs and sending out things to buy. And that's where they have, so you could be talking to a team of people and thinking you're actually talking to this
You could be talking
creator.
to Habib. He's going, good, thank you very much. I am very much to be talking to you now.
It's, you don't really know what you're getting. Like, obviously, if I'm not answering you at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm asleep. Sorry.
You can outsource your messages to have Habib right back to your people for you.
It's, so someone saying $43 million a year. That's what Bad Baby made.
$43 million in a year. I could be like, great, I can retire.
Right. I'd be done. See you later.
Wow. That's so wild. Right, because then you see that number and you go, why am I not doing that?
And then you see all these girls that are saying all these high numbers. I tell people I make less money, so they leave me alone.
Wow. I really try to be honest and open about the realities of the industry. I try to stay away from that. Personally, in my own consciousness, I don't want to be braggy. I don't like this bathing suit she's wearing because it makes her look like she... First of all,
her highlights look amazing.
It doesn't even fit her. And then the bottom is too big on the top. It's like the bottom part is too big. It's too like, it looks like a, what am I thinking of? Like something not Jesus would wear, but
a loincloth?
A loincloth. Yeah. Thank you, Fealty. The bottom part looks like a loincloth.
That's a popular design. I see a lot of people wearing that kind of bottom crunchy, scrunchy design.
I hate that. That's a terrible design. It's like, because you could have a penis and it would be sort of disguised in all the flaps.
I mean, that's possible.
Terrible.
It's like a little.
Do you guys
drape.
like this bottom? Like, I mean, she has a killer body. She can wear anything.
Yeah.
But however, I just think it's too many strings.
It's a lot
too
of
many
pleats.
flaps.
I feel like pleats went out in the 80s.
Yeah, the under boob is great. We love that.
She looks amazing.
She looks great. All right, Fealty.
That was for the boys.
Keep your hands where I can see them. She's saving to buy a house, and she has invested her lavish new earnings, admitting, I could stop now and I'd be happy, but she can't stop, won't stop. Things just get more expensive the more you earn. You do need more stuff. I put it back into the business.
With a team of people.
Yeah, she's got a staff. Admitting she feels responsibility for glamorizing
And she
her
probably
life.
has, people that film for her and edit her stuff. And, that's the business side of things as well, marketing and all of that. So good for her.
She opened about the notorious 101 Men stunt while, makes me think of 101 Dalmatians, while confessing she first came across adult content when she was 11 years old.
Well, I was sneaking peeks at, Playboy.
How old were you?
I was young.
See, is there a connection between that? Like young exposure and increased sort of like sexual proclivities?
I don't know. I was always boy crazy. I had a crush on Punch and John from Chips and
Punch.
I think everyone, I don't know if that's really a thing. It could be for some people and the extent of exposure they get, but I think me looking at Playboy as a young girl probably made me feel like garbage about my own body. But at the same time, I aspired. I was like, they're so beautiful. I want to be them.
Eric Estrada as Punch.
Yeah, hello. I loved them. That was my favorite show.
Wow.
That's how old I am.
That is quite a head of hair. He looks Pakistani. That's a turnoff for me. Yeah.
Who doesn't like a motorcycle riding?
That's a great little outfit.
Those tight pants.
That's what was great about the 70s. Everyone just looks like they always need a haircut.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
He's spilling them out.
I think he still looks that way. I think that guy hasn't aged at all.
Let's catch up with Punch.
What's his name? Eric Estrada.
Eric Estrada.
Wow.
Let me just take that off the screen.
There was a moment where it was Lily Phillips. It was Did you watch the sort of documentary? It was after she was done, and
He looks great.
wow, he just looks a little bit.
He's got the same hair.
like he's been up all night, but he looks good and the same.
Good for you, Punch.
Kept his hair.
I'm not gay. I think he looks better now.
He looks
Wow,
great.
he might be gay, Fealty.
Nope. No gay.
He's aged like a fine wine.
He sure has.
Well, actually, though, does this one look as good as that?
That is not a good photo. He's sort of smiling upside down there. That one, that's not a good one either. He looks Indian there. That's not good.
So one was clearly his headshot.
Yeah, that's better.
Well, maybe that was from I don't know,
A movie or something. So he's still a good-looking man, though.
A lot of these men have had work done. But you gotta stay competitive. Do you remember there was a moment, Lily Phillips, right here, it's the screenshot here, where she is like crying and she's talking about how she had to check out. And she was saying like she had to like disassociate at around like man number 40. Do you think that's an act?
Yeah.
Really?
Like, if you don't want to do something, you don't have to.
She could have said cut at any moment.
And 40 would have been an impressive number to begin with.
Yeah.
I think it's a combination of, do I think these women really enjoy having sex and being in the spotlight? I do. But I also think that these are really extreme headlines and trying to grab your attention. So I think it's a little bit of truth and a little bit of not truth.
And they figured it out because it clearly works for them. But it's kind of like, when does it end? You have to keep one-upping yourself. Like, all right, what's after 1,000? 1 million men.
She hosts a cruise and you go out on the cruise, like the bands do.
That's a great idea.
Like the Dave Matthews cruise.
A bang cruise. The SS Syphilis. And then, was it this one or Bonnie Blue who got into like doing old dudes?
I think it was Bonnie Blue.
On one hand, the old men, they could use a little love. But on the other hand, there's already a STD epidemic in these nursing homes.
And what if you get one, they're all on Viagra, you'll be there forever.
Yeah. You'll be like, I got other old men
any
to
day
see.
now, dude, please.
Okay, wow. Bonnie Blue claims she doesn't get STIs because she drinks pineapple juice and eats vitamins. Well, pineapple juice sales just went through the roof.
Is it fresh pineapple juice? Can we get away with the can from Dole?
Is this Dole? Wow, I thought just pineapple juice made your junk taste better.
Who knew it had all of these other qualities?
Who knew it had disease-fighting qualities? Wow. Her real name is Tia Billinger. Wow, she doesn't look like a Tia Billinger.
They're both from England, too.
Wow.
Which is where OnlyFans started.
Really?
It's a British company.
Onlyfans. No, I take cranberry vitamins. I drink a lot of pineapple juice. I feel like she's just saying that. It kind of would ruin the fantasy if she was like, yes, I have triple herpes.
I feel like she could just say anything at this point. It's,
Who's going to fact check? You know why her and Lily Phillips are so successful? Because they don't look like they're ran through. Like, they look very fresh-faced and girl next door.
But she's wearing a Van Cleef and Arpels necklace.
But guys don't know what that is.
I have no clue what that is.
See? Fealty doesn't know what that is. They don't know about jewelry.
I thought it was like a 4-leaf clover.
Yeah. He's thinking maybe she's Irish.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Oh, look at the Irish.
Is that not
Irish
what it
eyes
is?
are smiling. Yeah, no, that's like very expensive. But only girls know. Girls and gays know that.
Oh, it's like the Dolce and Gabbana, the Louis Vuitton symbol thing.
Yes, Louis
Yes.
Wait,
his Hispanic counterpart.
Louis.
Louise. Oh boy. Health information. No, pineapple juice has been rumored to affect the taste of and smell of bodily fluids, but nothing to do with STI prevention. I don't know, whatever works. Don't confuse general wellness with actual protective measures. What is the most difficult thing about doing OnlyFans? I feel like it's harder than it looks.
I think if you want it to pay like a business, you have to treat it like a business. So you have to be prepared. You have to think ahead. You have to be creative. You have to be, fun and think of what your subscribers want to see and hear about. And, obviously there's nudes on there, but I also answer my own messages, and some of us swap recipes, some of us talk about what our weekend plans are. Some people are just lonely and they want a companion and they like looking at boobs at the same time. So we have a really great time over there, and it's a nice community of people, and we just have a great time. And I try and, I'll say, hey, what do you want to see? What interests you? And some people reach out to me and my other platforms, because I answer those messages as well. And everyone's always like, you have so many followers. How can you possibly answer my message? Aww. And I'm like, well, luckily not everyone is messaging me at the same time. Like, it's not hard.
What if someone's like, I want to see you nude on the Grand Canyon? Like, what if it's something you just can't do?
I'll just be like, that is a long drive from New Jersey.
Like, what about the Belt Parkway? Let's do that.
Right. And they're like, I'll fly you to me. And I'm like, no, thanks. It's a faceless stranger on Twitter that I've never spoken to before. You get a lot of
those kind of offers?
Oh, yeah. I get a lot of people that want to meet me and date me and hang out with me. And I'm like, I stopped meeting people on Twitter years ago. It was too much drama. I'm just like, no. It can be organic, and that's it.
Too Craigslisty. Yeah.
And most people understand.
Love you guys. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for the comments. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Bye. All right. Love you guys. God, I don't even want to leave. This candle smells so good. I don't want to leave. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. Love you all. Join the Discord. Feet. Love you all. Wow. You guys are awesome. Come and get it. Bye, guys. Bye. Now I'm really leaving. Love you. Bye.